Nation, and welcome back to another Coaches Weekly for this season of Cougar Baseball. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network, and joining me once again is head coach of that team, Matt Smith. Coach, thanks for coming back.
Absolutely. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Coach, and welcome back. More importantly, from Texas, going all the way back from the South for your last long road trip of the season, of that non-conference season, and finished 1-2, one game out of a three-game series against a very talented Hardin-Simmons squad. And to be honest, looking at those games, looking at that series, a lot of the trends that we saw start to form in your Florida trip kind of continued. Very, very strong relief pitching. And that's kind of where I want to start, is looking at the pitching from this last week. Very strong relief pitching. You got some very good outings to start the game as well from Dylan Ferraro. But one of the daggers that kind of hit your team in your two losses, and it's kind of been something this season, is early runs given up. A lot of runs given up first, second, third inning. So why do you think that might be something your team's struggling with? What's some ways you can kind of work on moving past that, keeping the runs off the board at the start of the game?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we had this talk yesterday as a pitching staff of just what do we need to do to get us back to where we kind of were last year and what our identity was last year. Yeah. As you were able to see, we can score runs in the first three innings a ton. But what's happening is we're giving up the same amount of runs and we're going into those middle innings either up by one, down by one, or we're tied. And what we have to do as a pitching staff that we talked about is 3 pitches or less to a hitter, fill up the zone with everything. You also can't strike somebody out when it's an 0-0 count or an 0-1 count. Yeah. So us trying to throw an off-speed pitch or try to be perfect with our fastball isn't really helping us. So it's just kind of more of a change of a mindset that we just need to have. And we talked about that yesterday as a pitching staff. We had some guys that were veteran guys that stood up and spoke yesterday and kind of gave what they've seen over the last 3 years, and then what we did last year that made us really successful. So we're hoping that this weekend, the trend that we had last year will kind of be able to move forward with what we want as a pitching side this weekend.
Absolutely, Coach. And we'll touch a bit more on the plan for this weekend later. You mentioned in there your team can score a lot of runs in the first 3 innings, and that's another thing that really stuck out, especially in games 2 and 3 of your series this last weekend, is the offense is clicking from first pitch to last pitch, scoring runs early and scoring runs late as well. Even more importantly, in both of those games, runs put past the plate in the 8th and 9th innings that really helped you, in game 2 at least, lock in that win. What's kind of been the mindset with the offense? What do you think is behind that success at the plate and that constant ability to manufacture those runs?
There's probably 2 things that go with that. One, our guys have learned how important team ABs are. They've learned that you can't hit a 5-run home run. You have to be able to get on base, move the guy over 90 feet, and if we can do that, we're going to be able to put up 1 to 3 runs an inning, which we've been able to see. Yeah. So team at-bats, understanding the situation, a lot of situational hitting, which I give a ton of credit to Coach Murphy, Coach Fisher, and Coach Nelson that they've done since the fall, and they've really been able to do that with our guys and instill that. Also, I would say that one of our pillars that we talk about is the word relentless. And what we talk about with that is from the very first pitch to the very last pitch of the game, as a team collectively, but as the hitters have taken it, is we are going to be relentless. And sometimes that's not going to equate to wins and losses, but what it's going to do is it's going to put pressure on the other team. We're never going to give in. We're never going to back down from any situation. We're going to fight every single pitch, and the pitcher may win that battle, we may win that battle, but we are going to never give in. So that mindset that they have of this relentless mindset of never giving in, which is all mental, it's not physical, they've really adopted that, and they've taken that into their at-bats, they've taken it into play, and now we're starting to kind of really be able to see that as a team, and that's the one thing that we did talk about over the weekend. Yes, we went 1-2 over the weekend, however, we've had that mindset the whole time. Yeah. And this was a grueling 3 weeks. So from February 19th to March 14th, we were home for a total of 7 days. And we talked to the boys about this on Tuesday as a group, that this group is mentally, physically, and emotionally a tough group. Because going through that gauntlet and going through that many games, going on 2 flights, back and forth, all of that, That's a lot on these guys. It's a lot on the coaching staff too, because it's just long. And when you're home for 7 days, you really don't get into a routine. So when we talked about that, these guys are mentally, physically, and emotionally tough and being relentless towards that, it's 100% true with this group. And that's the one thing as a coaching staff that we love to see with these guys, and that they've really taken this mold and this form of who they are since the fall. And now that we're kind of back into a quote-unquote like groove a little bit of school, double for conference games, midweek games, we're kind of more in a routine, and they get to sleep in their own bed a little bit too, instead of sleeping in hotels. So it's going to be really cool when our guys are back in this routine, because they've already gone through just a gauntlet of everything.
Yeah.
So we are excited for this weekend and kind of the rest of the season.
Absolutely, Coach. And kind of before we get on to this last weekend, I want to touch on one last thing from this weekend, kind of something that's I've noticed from the first 3 weeks, and it's not really been a major issue with your team, but it's something that's kind of there, really cropped up in your first game against Hardin-Simmons, is the defensive errors. In that game especially, 5 of the 8 runs that were allowed were unearned, 4 errors from your squad, and it's something that, like I said, it's not a major issue yet, but it's still something you never like to see in a game. What are some ways that you can kind of work on improving those defensive errors as a team, both mentally and technically?
So technically, with our coaching staff, we've been able to really see over these last 12 games, and especially this past weekend, where we need to work individually with each guy. So when we do individual defense, it's what do the catchers need? What do certain positional guys need from the infield and the outfield to really work on that technical skill? And then also realizing that errors are going to happen. What we have to do is we can't let those compound one error after another. And the physical errors are going to happen. It's the mental errors that really have kind of reared its ugly head at times with us, of cutting a ball when we shouldn't cut it, or throwing to a different base when we shouldn't, or trying to force a throw that we shouldn't. And a lot of it is just new guys in new positions. I mean, as we mentioned before earlier in these Coaches Weeklies, it's just a new group of guys on the field. And for some of our guys, even though they are maybe sophomores, juniors, or seniors, this may be their first time with full playing experience on day in and day out. So there are the growing pains, and we kind of break everything up into thirds with the season. And the first third was all of our spring training games, and it's kind of to work out those kinks, and for us as a coaching staff to evaluate who we are, and for our players to be able to do that too. So this past week, we've really been able to clean up a few things, be able to talk about a few things as we're now rolling into conference, and we feel that where we're at right now is we're in a much better spot than we were at the beginning of the year, but those things are getting cleaned up every game that we play, and guys are being super coachable and understanding where we're at and what we're trying to get accomplished. So a lot of kudos to the players for being open and being very, very coachable with this, and understanding that the feedback that they're given is positive criticism that we're giving them, and they're accepting it, they're understanding it, and now they're implementing it too. So from the coaching side to the player side, we are moving in the direction that we should be moving with this group.
For sure. That's great to hear, Coach. And you're going to get to put that in practice even sooner than this weekend. One last non-conference game before action gets started back up, and it's tomorrow night. You guys are headed just a short drive west to Wheaton to take on the Wheaton College Thunder in just a one-night game. When you're looking at a game like that, single out-of-series, non-conference game right before you get back into conference play, what are some things you can get out of that? What are you looking to learn and to work on in that game?
A few things. One, what have we implemented? What have we done so far to be able to get our guys ready for conference, and things that we've worked on this past week? Also, let's get used to playing in the elements. I mean, we've been down south for 3 weeks now, and we've played in some beautiful weather. So it's our guys getting back to the elements, being back into playing, beautiful Chicago spring weather. So with that, it's just kind of our guys getting back on the field, playing teams that have a similar amount of games under their belt. Like when we played Hardin-Simmons, they were 20 games already, and they were halfway done with their season. There is something to be said about that. So with our guys, it's going to be playing teams that have a similar amount of games. So we're going to be in the same boat as them.
Yeah.
I just think that we've been challenged a little bit more than some other teams with, one, the travel and the teams that we've played so far. So what we're, again, to go back to answer your question, is what we're going to take from it is getting used to playing in the elements and everything that we've been able to implement this week, talk about, all right, now let's really put that into action.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously the big thing that comes with that, the thing that we've kind of been talking about all day long already, this weekend, NAC play starts up with a home doubleheader against Concordia, Wisconsin, Concordia rivalry no less. Home opener, conference opener, huge series for your guys. And the first thing I kind of want to touch on, we kind of touched on it last week about how this Hardin-Simmons series could help prepare you for the conference play. It's a doubleheader, and you got your first doubleheader of the season under your belt down in Texas. So before we talk about the goals you have for this weekend, I want to touch on that. How can that doubleheader down in Texas help prepare you for doubleheaders in Wheeling Forward starting this Saturday?
Yeah, it's been great. What we talked about with our guys is sustaining that energy all the way through.
Yeah.
That we have to play a full 18 innings of baseball and be able to sustain that energy. And that's usually the biggest challenge, especially for college athletes and baseball players in general, is you can get that energy and that vibe can be high for the first 3 to 4 innings, and then it kind of tails down a little bit. It's being able to sustain that, go up, but then be able to go back to neutral when you need to. And we dropped game 1, but we talked about, hey, we got game 2 and we can make this up. We know what we need to do, and our guys responded. It was great, and we were able to get that split in that doubleheader. Again, you always want to have the sweep, but if you don't win game 1, you got to win game 2. And our guys, they quickly flipped that mindset. They quickly flipped and flushed. Hey, that loss it stung a little bit. And what do we need to do? And our guys came out guns blazing and really just kind of put it to them. And so what we were able to take from that is this group can kind of flush games, and it doesn't carry over to the second one, which is going to help us in conference play, because there's good teams in our conference, and we may lose game 1. And it's how can we respond and not carry over what happened from game 1 to game 2.
Absolutely. And looking at games 1 and 2 for this weekend, what are your goals? What do you want to get done this weekend against the Falcons?
Well, obviously go 2-0 this weekend. I want our guys to play the game of baseball that they have all year. Yes, there's going to be a little bit more of amped up just because it's conference play. Obviously, the Concordia rivalry. So there's always going to be that little extra added, I don't want to use the word pressure, but excitement and adrenaline to these games. But our guys also have to realize that it's still the same game. 60 feet, 6 inches. You got to run 90. Each base is 90 feet. Obviously, the team that scores more runs wins. So it's literally the same exact game. Yes, it may mean a little bit more because it's conference, but it's the exact same game. And it's for our guys to realize it's the same game that we've played for the last 12 games. It's literally the same exact game. And it's being able to keep them with that mindset, stay neutral the whole time, and being able to have them remember, hey, remember the games that we played against St. John Fisher and Oshkosh and Hardin-Simmons, that very good teams, and that we've just recently played. We need to bring that same energy, same intensity, same locked-in hyper-focusedness of what we need to get accomplished. We do that, I think we can be successful this weekend.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, thank you again for joining us this week, and good luck tomorrow night and this weekend as you guys get conference play started up. Like we mentioned, Cougars are back in action tomorrow night in Wheaton, taking on the Thunder. You can get caught up on everything you missed and follow that game at cucougars.com. And then the Cougars are back in action this weekend for the very first time at home in 2026, taking on the Concordia University Wisconsin Falcons right here in River Forest. You can come catch that game live in River Forest or on the Cougar Sports Network at cucougars.com. I'm Jonathan Shearer, the Cougar Sports Network. Coach Smith, again, thank you for joining us, and thank you for tuning into another Coaches Weekly for the Cougar baseball season. As always,
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cougar Sports Network for the first home game here in River Forest for CUC baseball. Welcome back to the Thunderdome as Concordia, Chicago taking on Concordia, Wisconsin, and Ryan Ranella dishes the first pitch for the Cougars. A beautiful sunny day here in River Forest. You cannot ask for a better opening day and an opening conference matchup as Alex Ames is at bat for the Falcons. He now sits with the 1-1 count. These two teams, fellow NAC mates, fellow Concordias, a deep rivalry between these two squads as that one is fouled off. And quickly now with the 1-2 count. Last year, Concordia Chicago facing off against Concordia Wisconsin on their final home game of the season, picking up the split there. This year, taking on the Falcons in the first game of the season here at home as Ames fouls that one off. Yet again, 3 foul balls here. Ryan Ranella still dishing. First home game of the season for Cougar baseball, but many broadcasts have happened on the Cougar Sports Network so far this year as that one is fouled off yet again. Let's take a look around the field here for the Cougars. Ranella on the mound. Behind home plate, Dom Owens. Going left to right in the infield is Jake Mahler, Jeff Becker, Richie Sperando, and Connor Jerkadis. Going left to right in the outfield is Austin Koberstein, Cam Buckley, and Xavier Zagerman, a familiar lineup for the Cougars in the field as Ames fouls that one off yet again. One, 2 count here. Ranella gets set. He delivers this one. And therefore, strike number 3, Ryan Ranella getting things done to start the day. A long at-bat for Ames, closed out by a beautiful pitch right down the middle from Ranella. And that's going to hand things over to Mick Wagner, the freshman from Crown Point, Indiana. He connects with the first pitch. He sees chopper over to third. Mahler struggles to collect it cleanly. So that's going to put 1 runner on base with 1 away.
Batting third, the first baseman, number 35, Graham Caston.
Graham Caston at the plate for the Falcons. As Ranella checks on Wagner over at first. Caston hitting .308 on the season. He swings through that one for strike number 1. Caston, a hometown kid for the Falcons out of Mequon, Wisconsin. As Ranella checks over on Wagner once again. Slight breeze here in River Forest. Sunny and nearly 60 already as the sun just started peeking out not that long ago. Roughly 8-mile-an-hour winds heading directly north here in River Forest. The 1-1 count. Fouled off makes this a 1-2 count. Falcons coming off of a busy preseason. They had a trip out to Arizona to start the season all the way back at the beginning of March before heading down to Florida for another 4 games. So they've played all of their games so far in warm weather. The Cougars also playing a bulk of their games in warmer weather. They had opening weekend down in Memphis, Tennessee, where There was some sunshine, but Game 3 against Franklin College proved to be a pretty chilly contest. And then the Cougars went down and they played 6 games in Florida before rounding out their non-conference trips with a 3-game series down in Abilene, Texas against Hardin-Simmons University. CUC had their final non-conference matchup before conference play started just this past week on Thursday against Wheaton College. They pulled the 4-1 win, and now brings us here to the conference opener and the 2-2 count for Caston. Runner takes off. Owens from his knees makes the throw, and he gets him! A high throw! The field umpire took a second to make sure that the tag was actually there. So the throw was a bit high, but the tag was in a perfect position to be able to just drop it down and catch him on the back. The 3-2 count here. 2 outs now. Ranella delivers this one. Connected on, sent toward the Cougar dugout. Caston keeping his at-bat alive. As this one is in there for ball 4. First walk of the game here is going to put Caston over on first, and Connor Lash now at the plate.
Batting fourth, the catcher, number
Lash hitting 366 on the season. Looking to continue this 2-out rally here with a base runner on. First pitch delivered upstairs for ball 1. This one in there for strike 1, makes us a 1-1 count with 2 away. Ranella taking a look over at Caston on first. Instead delivers the pitch just away, but the throw down is not going to be in time. Owens trying to catch Caston, lacking a little bit on the base. The 2-1 count here, 2 outs. Caston 1 for 1 on stolen bases this season, as this pitch misses just upstairs for ball 3. The 3-1 swung on and missed for strike number 2. Ranella working his way back into this count, fills it up. 3-2, 2 outs, 1 runner on. Jerkadis stepping off of first here. Caston takes off. This one connected on set, high and shallow towards right. Jerkadis coming up and underneath it, but Sperando collecting it instead for out number 3, and that is going to close the top half of the inning scoreless for the Falcons and head things to the bottom of the first. CUC has a chance to strike first when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, bottom of the first, CUC has the opportunity to strike first, and Cam Buckley, the guy to lead it off. Buckley, a usual leadoff man for the Cougars. And he lets that one go by for ball one. Taking a look at this lineup for the Falcons, dishing here on the mound, number 18, Nick Barksdale. As he delivers this one, swung on, fouled along the first base line. Behind the dish is Connor Lash going left to right across the infield. Matt Miller, Colin Lesala, Brandon McCray, and Graham Caston. Going left to right in the outfield, Jason Valdez, Alex Ames, and Mick Wagner. As Buckley sits with the 1-1 count. This one delivered. Catches the outside of the zone for strike number 2. Buckley now behind it with the 1-2 count. The delivery here. Connected on, that's going to go shallow left field. It's going to drop right in front of Valdez. So a base hit for Buckley leads things off and hands things over to Austin Koberstein, the number 2 hitter for the Cougars, with 1 on base already.
Batting second, the left fielder, number 13, Austin Koberstein.
Koberstein working his way into the starting lineup for the Cougars. Now as the starting left fielder, he's batting .290 on the season, making his 8th start here today. As the first pitch to him delivered outside for ball 1. This one fouled off. Makes this a 1-1 count. Koberstein, a sophomore from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, slowly making his impact here. He had his first career home run in the Maroon and Gold down in Florida as a part of that 12-inning rally game against St. John Fisher. As he sends this one right up the middle, a chance for a double play ball. McCray able to get 1, and they do get 2. McCray to Lesala, back to Caston for out number 2. And that's going to put Jake Mahler now at the plate with 2 away.
Batting third baseman, number 5, Jake Mahler.
Mahler, one of the top hitters on this CUC squad. He's batting .393 this season. And he's going to wear that first pitch off of his shoulder and put a base runner on with 2 outs and hand things right back over to Brandon Mahler. The Cougars, a bit of a 2-out rally team. We've seen it happen so far this season where they really start to spark up with 2 outs. Most recently happening down in Texas in one of their matchups against Hardin Simmons. The Cougars were trailing the majority of the game, and then in, I believe, the 7th inning, had a fantastic 2-out rally to put themselves right back into the game. But Mahler, he's going to take strike 1 just on the outside corner of the plate. Barksdale trying to get out of this inning, hopefully erasing the hit that he gave up and the hit by pitch that he gave up. 1-1 count here for Brandon Mahler. Brandon Mahler, the top hitter on the CUC squad so far this season. He's batting .408. He's going to send that one just foul along the third base line. Brandon Mahler in the DH spot here in game number 1. Named NAC Player of the Week back on February 24th, opening weekend down in Tennessee. Saw him with a fantastic start to his senior season. He appeared in all 3 games on opening weekend, 6 hits and 12 at-bats, and 2 home runs in that 3-game stretch. As this one is fouled off, actually going towards right field, and coming in to catch it is Wagner for out number 3. So the Falcons erase the Cougars and the base runners that were on, and sends this to the 2nd inning completely scoreless. Due up for the Falcons, Heinkel, Miller, and Valdez when we come back. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Luke Heinkel at the plate for the Falcons. He's batting .345 on the season. As Ranella delivers strike number 1. So a scoreless first inning here. As Ranella delivers this one, low and away for ball 1, makes this a 1-1 count. Sun continuing to get brighter and brighter as the day progresses, and the clouds slowly start to disappear here in River Forest. Opening day both for Cougar baseball and Cougar softball. CUC softball playing right now just behind center field here at Concordia, Chicago. The Cougar softball team taking on Lakeland for their opening day, as Heinkel connects with this one. Jerkadis gets there, and the throw over to first for Ranella is in time for out number 1. Momentum carrying Jerkadis over that direction. Sperano there to clean it up if necessary, but Ranella making his way to first to collect the out, and that's going to put Matt Miller at the plate now. Miller batting .297 on the season, started and appeared in 10 games, making his 11th here, as this one is fouled straight back and out of play for the 0-1 count. Ranella dishes this one right in there for strike number 2. Swing and a miss from Miller. Puts Ranella well ahead here. The 0-2. Connected on, sent deep in to left field. Tracking it is Coberstein, but that ball carried all the way to Division Street for the first run of the day. With the wind blowing in that direction, the ball just travels here in River Forest. And the Falcons strike first, the solo shot for Matt Miller. His first home run of the season.
Batting 7th, left fielder
So the Falcons strike first, and that's going to bring Valdez up to the plate now for CU Dub. He's batting .385 on the season, making his 4th start of the year, as Ranella's first pitch to him delivered low for ball 1. This one catches in there for strike 1. One's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. Ranella delivers this one, fouled off, jumping ahead in the count. 1-2 for Valdez. Ranella delivers this one in the dirt for ball 2. The 2-2 count turns 3-2. Valdez working his way back into this count. 2 consecutive balls for Valdez. As this one's going to bounce off of his elbow, so ball 4 turned hit by pitch. He's going to put a runner on first, 1 out, and Colin Lesala at the plate.
Batting 8th, the shortstop, number 13, Colin Lesala.
First pitch to Lesala delivered in there for strike number 1. Ranella been a strong arm for the Cougars so far this season. We've seen him be a two-way player so far, playing both out in left field and on the mound. Today getting the start here, but he's got a season ERA of 1.64 in his 2 appearances, both starts on the mound. 11 total innings pitched as he gets Lesala swinging through that one for the 1-2 count. Ranella leading the Cougars in strikeouts this season. He's got 7. Tied with Kyle Connolly. The 2-2 misses outside for ball 3. Full count here for Lesala. 1 runner on first in Jason Valdez. Valdez takes off this one, fouled off, out of play. Valdez took off on the pitch. Only 1 out on the board. Valdez 2 for 2 on stolen bases this season as Ranella gets set for the 3-2. Delivers this one on, swung and missed for strike number 3. A much needed strikeout for the Cougars. Puts 2 outs on the board, holds Valdez at first, and brings Brandon McCray up to the plate. He's batting .250 on the season so far, making his 13th start on the year. First pitch delivered well upstairs for ball 1. Ranella trying to get out of this inning. Delivers this one in there for strike 1. Ranella checking over on Valdez yet again. The 1-1. In there for strike number 2. Some great movement on that ball from Ranella. As this one misses just outside, makes this 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 2nd. Ranella delivers this one in the dirt for ball 3. Full count, 2 outs. Now you can imagine Valdez running on this pitch yet again. Jerkaitis stepping off of first, Ranella getting set. The 3-2. Connected on. Sent over Sperando's head at second. That's going to get down in front of Zagerman. And that's going to hold Valdez at second. A base hit for McCray with 2 outs. Puts runners on first and second. And hands things back over to the top of the lineup for the Falcons.
Center fielder number 1, Alex Ames.
Ames 0 for 1 so far today. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. As he takes that one for strike 1. This one connected on a chopper over to third. Mahler's going to glove it and take it to third himself for out number 3. And that's going to end the inning for the Cougars, but the Falcons able to tack on a run after a solo home run. Sends the Cougars to the bottom half of the inning, trailing. And we'll be back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, bottom of the 2nd, and Connor Jerkaitis leading things off for CUC. Cougars trail by 1 after the solo home run. Barksdale still dishing on the mound for the Falcons. He delivers that one outside for ball 1. This one low and away for ball 2. A quick 2-0 count here in favor of Jerkadis. As this one misses outside, and now quickly a 3-0 count. As this one clips the outside of the zone for strike one. Barksdale slowly working his way back here, making his third start on the mound for the Falcons this season. As that one misses for ball four, so a 5-pitch walk for Jerkadis is going to hand things over to Richie Sperando.
Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 8, Richie Sperando.
Sperando hitting 196 on the season. Has had a couple of doubles in the last few appearances for the Cougars, as Barksdale's going to check on Jerkadis over at first. Jerkadis takes off running, but this ball's going to be hit in the air. Coming up and underneath it for the catch is Ames. And so Jerkadis is going to make his way back to the bag for out number one and hands things over to Xavier Zagerman.
Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 16, Xavier Zagerman.
Zagerman hitting .211 on the season, making his 13th start and appearance, as Barksdale checking on Jerkadis yet again. Jerkadis did take off on that last swinging attempt from Sperando, but he has yet to attempt or successfully steal a bag this season, as the first pitch to Zagerman delivered outside for ball one. Packed stands here at the Thunderdome. A beautiful opening day for the Cougars. You couldn't ask for much nicer weather here at the end of March in the Chicagoland area. 61 degrees, some clouds in the sky, some sun shining through. Expected to get up to 74 here in River Forest. As Zagerman connects with this one, he's going to send that into some space and over the fence for a home run. Bouncing off a car on Division Street, Xavier Zagerman! Fire me up! And the Cougars take the lead 2-1 as Zagerman hits his first home run of the season and hands things over to Dom Owens.
Batting eighth, the catcher, number 14, Dom Owens.
So just as quickly as the Falcons took momentum, the Cougars took it right back here at the Thunderdome. And the first pitch to Owens outside for ball one. Like I was talking about, the wind blowing out just under 10 miles an hour towards left field. So that ball is going to carry quite a bit, as Owens sits with the 0-1. Excuse me, the 1-1 for Owens with one out. This one swung off, fouled off, makes this a 1-2 count. This one clipping in there for strike number 3. Low and away, but called anyway, and that's going to put Jeff Beckert at the plate with 2 outs.
Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 4, Jeff Beckert.
Beckert hitting 171 on the season. looking to start this 2-out rally yet again for the Cougars. That home run for Zagerman, just his 3rd career home run in the maroon and gold. And no better time to do so than the home opener in your junior campaign. So the 2-0 count here for Beckert. Barksdale gets set here. He delivers. Swung on, sent deep into center field. Backtracking, Ames is at the wall. It's going to bounce at the wall. Becker's going to take 2 with ease. And a stand-up double for Jeff Becker with 2 outs. Cam Buckley, top of the order for the Cougars, looking to continue this 2-out rally. Really good effort from Alex Ames in center field, tracking that ball all the way back. Running into the fence just in front of the 390 marker. But Cam Buckley now at the plate for the Cougars. He shows bunt. He drops bunt. Barksdale collecting it. Beckert is over at third, and the throw was in time to get Buckley. Buckley making that a really, really close attempt. Not guaranteed until the final second there. But that is going to do it for the 2nd inning. The Cougars pick up 2 runs and head to the top of the 3rd on top 2-1 when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Wagner at the plate for the Falcons. The Cougars taking all momentum in the bottom half of the 2nd after that 2-run rocket from Zagerman. But Ranella getting to work here on the mound for the Cougars still, as he delivers ball 2 to Wagner. This one in there for strike 1, the 2-1 count now. Wagner making his way on base earlier today off of the error from Mahler at third. The 3-1 for Wagner. This one clips the outside of the zone, fills this count up. Great work from Ranella to work his way right back in. The 3-2 swung on a miss for strike number 3. Ryan Ranella getting it done on the mound.
First baseman number 35, Graham Kelly.
picks up his third strikeout of the day. And that's going to put Caston at the plate now. Caston took a walk in his first at-bat. Oh, 1 count. Swung on and missed for strike number 2. This one connected on, sent deep and high into right field, and already knowing it before going anywhere was Zagerman. So a solo home run for Caston. And is going to tie this ball game up. Three home runs on the day so far between these two teams. The Falcons responsible for 2 solo shots. And that's going to put Lash now at the plate. First pitch to Lash in there for strike number 1. This one connected on put into play. Beckert can't get there in time. Getting right past him into left field is going to put Lash on first. And hand things over to Luke Heinkel.
Designated hitter number 5, Luke Heinkel.
Heinkel grounded out in his first at-bat of the day. As that one is in there for strike 1. This one fouled off, makes this the 0-2 count. The 0-2 swung on and missed for strike number 3. Strikeout number 4 for Ranella on the day, and Matt Miller now at the plate.
Matt Miller.
Miller responsible for that first home run of the day. He had that solo shot over the left field fence as that ball drops in there for strike 1. One and 1 count. Drops in there for strike number 2. Great movement from Ryan Ranella. Lash still planted over on first. Ranella delivers the 1-2. Connected on right to the glove of Sperando for out number 3. And that's going to do it for the inning, but the Falcons are going to tie this ball game up 1 run on 1 hit. And the Cougars heading back behind the bats. Coberstein and both Maulers due up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Austin Koberstein leading the inning off for the Cougars. Koberstein grounded into a double play in his last appearance. He's going to let that one go by for ball number 1, well outside. Barksdale still dishing on the mound for the Falcons. It is a story of the hitters here today so far. 3 home runs combined. As that one misses up and in for ball number 2. Barksdale delivers this one. Missing just inside yet again. Fills this 3 balls and no strikes. The 3-0. Clips the outside of the plate for strike number 1. Swing and a miss, strike number 2, and quickly Barksdale has worked his way right back into this count. 3-2. As he delivers, swing and a miss, strike number 3. The second strikeout of the day for Barksdale, and that's going to put Jake Mahler now at the plate.
The third baseman, number 5, Jake Mahler.
Jake Mahler hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. He swings at this one, pops it up into space in right center, but coming up and underneath it is Alex Ames for out number 2, and that's going to put Brandon Mahler now at the plate. Brandon flew out to right in his first at-bat. He's chasing his first hit of the day as the lead hitter for this CUC squad, batting .408 on the season. Two quick outs at the hands of Barksdale. And he's looking to make it 3 as he delivers the first pitch out and low for ball 1. This one up and in for ball 2. The 2-0 count. Swung on, connected deep, going back towards the center field. And over the fence for a solo home run, Brandon Mahler absolutely launches that ball onto the softball field. And the Cougars take the lead yet again. I said it to start this inning, but it's the tale of the hitters here at the Thunderdome. The 4th home run on the day.
First baseman, number 72, Connor Jerkadis.
Jerkadis now at the plate for the Cougars. He took a walk in his first at-bat of the day. As the first pitch to him delivered in there for strike 1. This one behind Jerkadis. Almost hit him on the back, but instead just completely went behind him. So the 1-1 count now with 2 outs. Barksdale delivers here. In there for strike number 2. The 1-2. Fouled off, keeping his at-bat alive here. One and two with 2 outs. Barksdale gets set here. Delivers this one outside for ball number 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Pitch clock winding down. Barksdale delivers this one. Swing and a miss. Strike number 3 for Jerkadis. So that's going to end the inning, but the Cougars able to tack one on and retake the lead after a solo shot from Brandon Mahler. We head to the top of the 4th. Ranella still dishing on the mound when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Valdez leading things off for the Falcons. It has been a back and forth battle with all scoring coming off of home runs here today. An interesting start to the home stretch here at the Thunderdome. But Ranella still dishing on the mound for the Cougars. He delivers ball 1. This one connected on scent, foul along the third base line. Assistant coach for the Falcons not able to glove it cleanly. It's going to get right past him. And now Valdez sitting with the 1-1 count. This one misses outside for ball 2. Ranella nearing 70 pitches on the day so far. This one swung on and missed for strike number 2. The 2-2. Connected on set into shallow center field. Buckley coming up and under it with ease for out number 1. Cam Buckley makes everything look easy out in center. And that's going to put 1 out on the board, and Lesala now at the plate.
Colin Lesala.
Lesala 0 for 1 at the plate so far today. Struck out in his only at-bat, and he takes strike number 1 here to start his second at-bat. The 0-1. Up and in for ball 1. Ranella delivers this one Outside for ball 2. Lesla thought about swinging, but he checked his swing as that one missed low and in the dirt. As Lesla is going to wear that one and take his free base. Put Brandon McCray at the plate and one runner on with one out. Head coach of the Cougars, Matt Smith, he's going to take a second to come out and discuss some things with his infield and his pitching staff. Resettle some things, have a quick discussion. Ranella, a key arm for the Cougars. Looking to continue this stretch here. We've seen him mostly go multiple innings for CUC. We've seen him go up to 7 innings, I believe, earlier this season. Just needing to resettle a little bit, kind of lock in, get a groove. As Coach Smith, in his first season as the head coach for the Cougars, he's coming off of being the head assistant for CUC, but before he was even the head assistant, he was a graduate assistant years ago, and before that, he was a player on this CUC baseball team. So Coach Smith, in his first season as the head coach, but he has a long-standing history with this program. And Ranella continues to dish here for CUC. Ranella's first pitch here, up and in for ball 1. This one catches the outside corner of the plate for strike number 1, makes this a 1-1 count. 1 out, runner on first. Ranella delivers this one, swung on and missed for strike 2, but the throw back, trying to catch Lesla lacking, not in time. Dom Owens behind the plate for the Cougars. He's staying active behind the plate, keeping an eye on those base runners at all times. That's his second attempt down so far this game. He was able to get the throw down to second to catch someone stealing early on in this game, and 2 attempts at first, so just staying vigilant behind the plate. But the 2-2 count here for McCray. The delivery here popped up high. Owens tracking it. Jerkaitis coming up and in. Having some discussions with Owens, but Owens able to collect it. Lesla still planted over on first, and the top of the order for the Falcons. Jerkaitis coming up and under that, right underneath Owens. Jerkaitis primarily a catcher for the CUC squad, making his first appearances on the actual field here this season. We've seen him play over at first and at third for the first time this season. So still some catcher tendencies as he was tracking that ball high and shallow. As this ball is connected on and sent deep into center field, Buckley backtracking but collecting it with ease for out number 3. So the Cougars able to get out of the inning after a conversation from head coach Matt Smith with Ryan Ranella, and that's going to send Sperando, Zagerman, and Owens to the plate when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Richie Sperando at the plate for CUC. He's chasing his first hit of the day. Barksdale still dishing on the bump for the Falcons, and his first pitch low and away for ball one. A scoreless top half of the inning for the Falcons. CUC still sits with the 3-2 lead as Sperando fouls this one off. Last time there was a scoreless top half of the inning, there was also a scoreless bottom half of the inning back in the first. We've seen consecutive scorings for both the Cougars and the Falcons in the last 2 innings. Barksdale trying to hold the Cougars where they're at here. He delivers this one, connected on, and sent right over to Miller for out at number 1. A line drive over there, but that's going to put Xavier Zagerman at the plate for the Cougars. Zagerman coming off of his first home run of the season. That 2-run shot in the bottom of the second to give the Cougars that initial lead. Wind is still blowing outward. Barksdale delivers this one. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Zagerman tried to check his swing, but not in time. The 0-1 here, low and away for ball 1. 1-1 count, 1 out. Barksdale nearing 50 pitches on the day. Sun continuing to shine here at the Thunderdome. Temperatures continuing to rise 1 by 1 and now up to 63 degrees. Back here on the Cougar Sports and Network. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties up here in the press box with a little bit of a power surge, but we are back and with 2 outs on the board, Zagerman going down on strikes. That's going to put Dom Owens now at the plate. He sits with the 1-0 count, so thank you for bearing with us through some technical difficulties. Thankfully, a quick fix here in the press box, but Owens is going to foul that one off, and now he sits with the 1-1 count. Barksdale trying to get out of this inning, holding the Cougars scoreless for the first time since the bottom of the first. He delivers this one in there for strike 2. Cougars, so far today, they're 2 for 5 at the plate with 2 outs. I was talking about it earlier in the game about CUC being a little bit of a 2-out team, and it proved to be true. As this one misses low for ball 2. Owens slightly moved, but didn't even make a real attempt to swing. So the 2-2 count, Connor Lash behind the plate thought that he was going to be able to collect that for a swinging strike, but 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Barksdale delivers inside ball 3. Owens working his way right back into this count, the 3-2. The delivery, inside ball 4. Jeffrey Beckert now coming to the plate with 2 outs and 1 runner on. Beckert 1 for 1 on the day so far. He picked up a stand-up double in his first at-bat. Owens over on first. As this one catches the outside of the plate for strike one. This one connected on, sent over to short, able to collect it and get the throw in time was Lesala. So the Falcons get out of the inning, holding the Cougars scoreless. And that's going to bring Wagner, Kasten, and Lash up to the plate for the Falcons when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Wagner leading things off for the Falcons after the second completely scoreless inning of the game. Here in the top of the fifth, the Cougars on top 3-2, but it has been a story of the hitters and the pitchers staying resilient. We have seen all of the runs scored today off of some long shots over the fence, but Ranella still dishing here for CUC. He sits with the 1-1 count for Wagner. Wagner 0 for 2 on the day so far. Struck out in his last at-bat. And he swings through that one for strike number 2. This one well outside for ball 2. Owens keeping it in front of him. The 2-2 from Ranella. Swing and a miss. Strike number 3. Ryan Ranella absolutely getting it done on the mound here today. His 5th strikeout of the day. Kasten now at the plate for the Falcons. He's 1 for 1 so far on the day. Had a solo home run in his last at-bat. He sits with the 0-1 count. This one low and in for ball 1. The Falcons, as I was mentioning earlier, they just played a 4-game stretch down in Florida. Most recently, they had a tough 5-6 loss against Trinity. But prior to that loss, they were on a 4-game win streak after they had opened the season out in Arizona with an 8-game loss streak to start the season. So this is a team of runs, as it seems, statistically speaking. Starting off, just not able to get much momentum going in their favor, and then finding that 4-game win streak, and then just a tight battle against Trinity in their last appearance in the Sunshine before starting this NAC opener here. The 2-2 count. Misses low for ball 3. Full count here for Caston. Ranella delivers. This one connected on set high and deep into center field. Buckley backtracking and then taking a couple steps forward to collect it for out number 2. Cam Buckley holding things down in the outfield for the Cougars. And that's going to put Connor Lash at the plate for the Falcons with 2 away.
Pitcher number 45, Connor Lash.
Lash 0 for 2 on the day. He's chasing his first hit here, as that one misses low and away for ball 1. The 1-0 from Ranella, low and away yet again for ball 2. The 2-0. Similar spot for 3-0. Ranella really looking to catch Lash chasing here a little bit, but just missing outside of the zone. The 3-0. In there for strike number 1. I believe that's exactly where Ranella was looking to place that ball on his last 3 pitches, just on the outside of the plate, trying to catch Lash, just reaching a little bit. But now sits with the 3-1 count. Ranella delivers. In there, connected on. Beckert able to collect it. The off-balance throw. Not in time. It's going to take a bounce past Jerkadis. But that's going to hold Lash where he was. A hard hit ball over to Becker, an off-balance throw is going to put a runner on first, 2 outs, and Heinkel at the plate.
Designated hitter number 5, Luke Heinkel.
Heinkel 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out in his last at-bat. He connects on this one, sends it deep into the outfield. Koberstein up and missing it. A little too confident out and left, just dropping below that. So that's going to allow Heinkel to get all the way to third and a run for the Falcons to score. So Heinkel over on third now.
Third baseman number 30.
And that's going to put Matt Miller now at the plate for the Falcons. Miller, he's 1 for 2 on the day. He was responsible for the first home run of the day. As this ball misses in the dirt for ball 1. Owens holding that ball in front of him to keep Heinkel over on third. This one in there for strike number 1. The 1-1. Connected on, sent into space in right center. Tracking it, not able to make the diving catch is Buckley. So another run's going to score. Miller, he's making his way all the way to third. And that is going to give the Falcons a lead here, and the Cougar infield's going to come together. Buckley making a diving attempt out in right center, just unable to collect it. And the Cougar infield trying to resettle. Ranella getting things done on the mound. Putting that ball in play. Just some good effort here from the Falcons hitters. So 2 outs on the board. CUW officially taking the lead here. And Jason Valdez now at the plate. Valdez 0 for 1 in his outings today. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, and then he flew out to center in his most recent. He connects with this one, sends a hard hitter over to Beckert. Beckert gloves it, gets the throw over in time for out number 3. So the Cougars finally able to get out of the inning. But the Falcons able to tack on 2 and take the 4-3 lead. Top of the order due up for the Cougars, Buckley, Koberstein, and Mahler when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, top of the lineup for the Cougars in the bottom of the 5th. The Falcons getting it done in the top half of the inning. They tacked on 2 runs to take the lead from CUC, but Buckley, he takes a swing at the first pitch. He sees that ball is deep. That ball is back at the fence. Making the grab is Alex Ames for the out. That ball had some juice on it, but not enough, and that's going to put 1 out on the board, and Austin Koberstein at the plate.
Left fielder number 13, Austin Koberstein.
Barksdale still dishing on the mound here for the Falcons. He delivers this one outside for ball 1. Koberstein checking his swing. And home plate umpire checking down with the field umpire to ensure that he did not swing. Umpires today, Teddy Gerstein and Christopher Viverito, as Koberstein sends that one high into foul territory. Tracking it for the out is Caston. And that is going to quickly put 2 outs onto the board, and Jake Mahler now at the plate.
Third baseman number 5, Jake Mahler.
Mahler 0 for 1 on the day. He lets that first pitch go by for strike 1. This one missing, low and away for ball one, makes us a 1-1 count. Cougars 2 for 6 at the plate with 2 outs. Every inning the Falcons have scored, CUC has scored in follow-up. The only 2 innings the Cougars have been scoreless are also the 2 innings that the Falcons have been scoreless, but Jake Mahler sits with the 1-2 count here with 2 away. Barksdale delivers here. In the opposite batter's box to level this at 2s. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The delivery here, well up and in for ball 3, over top of Mahler's head. Mahler working his way back into this count, 3-2, 2 outs. Barksdale delivers. This one fouled off. Mahler keeping his at-bat alive a little bit longer. The 3-2. In there for strike 3. Mahler goes down looking, and for the first time today, we are going to the top half of an inning with the Cougars trailing as Lesilla McCray and Alex Ames do up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, and a new arm onto the bump for CUC, number 25, Josh Procyse. And he delivers strike number 1 to Colin Lesilla. So taking a look at that final stat line for Ryan Ranella, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 hit by pitches, and 104 total pitches thrown before handing things over to Procyse, as he sits with the 1-1 count for Lesilla. This one connected on, sent trouble into left field, and that's going to get over the fence for another home run for the Falcons. That ball just absolutely carrying over the fence. Colin Lesilla picking up the solo shot to put the Falcons up 5-3. Lesela's first home run of the season.
Second baseman number 3, Brandon McCray.
And that's going to hand things over to McCray. So the Falcons lead 5-3. And McCray at the plate, he's 1 for 2. As McCray's going to wear this one off of his shoulder to put a base runner on, no outs, and top of the order for the Falcons. Procise making his 7th appearance on the season here today. He's got a 5.14 ERA, 7 total innings pitched. He's collected 5 strikeouts so far this season. As Procise checking over on McCray. The throw over, a great throw from Owens to easily pick McCray off. Owens with another throw down to second to collect the out. Dom Owens, an absolutely electric arm behind the plate today. As this one swung on and missed for strike number 2 for Ames. This one connected on. Hit over to short. Beckert able to collect it but not get the throw in time. So that's going to put a runner on. 1 out on the board, and Wagner now at the plate.
Right fielder number 30, Mick Wagner.
One 0 count here for Wagner. As Procise checks over on the runner yet again. Ames safely back in at first. This one in there for strike number 1. 1-1 count. This ball in the dirt. As this one misses, Owens with the throw down at first and not in time. Owens trying to catch Ames lacking over on first. A close attempt. But now the 3-1 count. Ames takes off. Owens not able to collect that for ball number 4. So that's going to put runners on first and second. 1 out, and Caston now at the plate.
First baseman number 35, Graham Caston.
First pitch to Caston, up and away for ball 1. Procise delivers this one, connected on a hard hit ball. Buck backtracking at the wall. Buckley making the jumping catch at the wall for the out. Cam Buckley having a fantastic day in the field. Holds the base runners where they're at. Puts 2 outs on the board. And Connor Lash now at the plate.
Connor Lash.
First pitch to Lash in the dirt for ball 1. This one in the dirt again, but Owens able to keep it in front of him and hold base runners where they're at. Good effort there from Owens. Procise turning around to check on Ames. The throw a little bit high, but collected by Sperando. This one missing outside makes this a 3-0 count here for Lash. A ball 4 there, a 4-pitch walk for Lash is going to load the bases up with 2 outs, and that's going to put Heinkel now at the plate.
Designated hitter number 5, Luke Heinkel.
First pitch to Heinkel in there for strike number 1. Heinkel 0 for 3 on the day. Reached base on an error in his last at-bat. As this one fouled off, quickly puts this at an 0-2 count. Falcons 3 for 9 at the plate with 2 outs here today. They've got a dangerous bases loaded situation here. The 5-3 lead over the Cougars. Procise trying to get the Cougars out of this inning as that one is fouled off. Keeps this at an 0-2 count. The 0-2 from Procise. Swung on and missed for strike 3, but Owens able to collect it for the out. And that is going to send things back to the Cougar Bats. They're trailing a 5-3. Brandon Mahler, Connor Jerkadis, and Richie Sperando due up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, bottom of the 6th. And CUC trailed by 2. Barksdale still dishing on the bump for the Falcons. And Brandon Mahler leading things off for the Cougars. First pitch to Mahler, low and away for ball 1. Mahler 1 for 2 on the day. He had a solo home run in his last at-bat. That was the last run scored for the Cougars. As this one also misses low and away for ball 2. So the 2-0 count here for Mahler. Missing outside for ball 3. The 3-0. Missing outside ball 4. 4-ball walk for Brandon Mahler. Hands things over to Connor Jerkadis. And Lash is going to go out and have a quick conversation with Barksdale on the mound. Jerkadis 0 for 1 on the day so far today. He struck out in his last at-bat.
Connor Jerkadis.
First pitch to Jerkadis in there for ball 1. This one in there for strike 1. 1-1 count now. This one connected on, hit over to Miller. They look to turn 2, and they do. So quickly, 2 outs on the board, and Richie Sperando now at the plate after erasing those base runners.
Second baseman, number 8, Richie Sperando.
First pitch to Sperando, fouled off along the third base line for the 0-1 count. This one connected on a chopper over to third. Miller able to glove it and get the throw in time for out number 3. So Mahler reaching on the walk, and the Cougars unable to do anything with it, and that's going to send this to the top of the 7th. CUC still trailing 5-3. As another new arm coming out on the mound for the Cougars. We'll have final stat line for Pro Size and information on this new pitcher when we come back. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network. And some changes for the Cougars. Out in left field now is Brendan Holloway. Holloway replacing Koberstein. And on the mound for CUC, number 35, Michael Southard. Coming in relief of Procyse. Southard, a junior left-handed pitcher on this CUC squad. As that one is in there for strike number 1 to Matt Miller. This one connected on, sent high into shallow right, but coming up and underneath it for the out is Richie Sperando. And that's going to put Valdez now at the plate with one away.
Left fielder number 6, Jason Valdez.
Valdez 0 for 2 at the plate today. Found his way on base in his first at-bat after being hit by a pitch, but has not been able to yet, as that's going to be a tough roller up the middle. Beckert making the diving grab, and the throw not on frame. So that's going to put a runner on for Colin Lesla now. Great effort there from Beckert, just could not get that throw in time, but preventing it from making its way to the outfield.
Colin Lesla.
Taking a look at that final stat line for Josh Procyse, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout in his 7 batters faced, as this ball is going to get away from Owens. So Valdez over on second now. Lesla with the 1-0. A bunt laid down. Jerkadis able to collect the tag. Great high IQ play there from Connor Jerkadis. Instead of turning to make the throw and giving Valdez time to make his way to third, he's able to just collect the tag, hold Valdez at second, and put 2 outs on the board. Brandon McCray at the plate for the Falcons. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Had a home run in his last at-bat. As this one is sent up the middle, bouncing off the mound. Beckert coming in, he's gloving it, and able to get the throw over in time for the out. A very effective inning for the Cougars. A much-needed inning is going to hold no runs on 1 hit and put Zagerman, Owens, and Beckert ready to hit when we come back for the bottom of the 7th here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Zagerman at the plate for the Cougars. And Barksdale still dishing for the Falcons. Zagerman connects with this one. He sends it high and into space in left center. Ames able to get up and underneath it for the outs. So quickly one away, but that's going to put Dom Owens now at the plate for CUC.
The catcher, number 14, Dom Owens.
First pitch to Owens, swung on and missed for strike number 1. Oh, 1 count. Connected on. That's going to get down in grass in center field. So a base hit for Dom Owens. Hands things over to Jeffrey Beckert. 1 runner on, 1 out, and Beckert now at the plate. Beckert 1 for 2 on the day. He had a stand-up double in his first at-bat. First pitch to him in there for strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2 for Beckert. As Barksdale nearing 90 pitches on the day so far. The 0-2 for Beckert. Connected on, a slow roller right back to Barksdale. He's going to turn and easily collect the outs. But Owens is going to make his way to second, and that's going to bring up the top of the order for the Cougars. Cam Buckley at the plate, operating with 2 outs and 1 runner on base. Cougars trail by 2 here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Buckley, upstairs, ball 1. Cougars 2 for 8 at the plate with 2 outs. And 0 for 1 at the plate with runners in scoring position. Dom Owens over on second here as that pitch inside for ball 2. This one connected on, high in the air but shallow, but McRae able to come up and underneath it. So that is going to retire the Cougar batters after
In the inning, no runs, 1 hit.
1 hit came from Dom Owens' single, and that's going to bring up the top of the order for the Falcons as Southard returns to the mound for the Cougars. We'll be right back heading to the top of the 8th on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Southern still dishing on the bump for the Cougars as he delivers this one outside to Ames for ball 1. CUC trailing by 2 after giving up a handful of runs in the 5th and 6th inning. As this one in there for strike 2, Southern quickly ahead with the 1-2 count. This one missing outside, levels us at 2-2. The 2-2, missing low and away for ball 3. Full count here for Ames. Ames 0 for 4 on the day. He's chasing his first hit. Southern delivers this one. Connected on. Beckert able to glove it. The throw. Not in time. Jerkadis doing a little bit of a splits there. Head coach of the Cougars, Matt Smith, talking with the home plate umpire, asking for a different angle, but that is going to leave Ames on first. And put Wagner now at the plate for the Falcons.
Right fielder number 30, Mick Wagner.
No outs, runner on first. Southern delivers this one, swung on and missed for strike 1. This one in the dirt for ball 1. Owens able to keep it in front of him and hold Ames over at first. One and one count. Southern takes a look at Ames, and he's going to check him and get him! As quickly as Ames made it on base, Southern erased him and put 1 out on the board.
45 degrees, he did it. 45 degrees, he did it.
Falcons coaching staff unhappy with the call. They're having a discussion with the home plate umpire. But the 1-1 count here. As the call stands. Field umpire coming in to provide some backup, but the 1-1 count, a 1 out, no runners on now here for Wagner. Southern delivers here. This one hit high into center field. Buckley underneath it planted. He's coming in and successfully grabbing it for the outs. And that's going to quickly put 2 outs on the board. And Graham Caston now at the plate for the Falcons.
First baseman number 35, Graham Caston.
First pitch to Caston, low and away for ball 1. Caston 1 for 3 on the day. He had a home run back in the top of the 3rd and has been silenced by Cam Buckley in his last 2 at-bats. He now sits with the 2-0 count. As this one is in there for strike 1. This one connected on. A chopper over to first and able to collect it for the out is Jerkadis, and he takes it himself, and the Cougars get out of the inning holding the Falcons scoreless for the second consecutive inning. And that's going to send things back to the Cougar offense with Holloway and both Maulers due up when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, bottom of the 8th, and for the first time today, Brendan Holloway at the plate, but a new arm on the mound for the Falcons, number 29, Jackson Kobalarczyk, and he's going to hit Holloway in the first pitch of the day. So quickly, a runner on base and hands things over to Jake Mauler. First plate appearance for Holloway, and the first pitch for Kobalarczyk ends in a free base. Jake Mauler here looking to jumpstart this Cougar offense as Kobalarczyk is going to check on Holloway over at first. Jake Mauler 0 for 2 on the day. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat and has struggled to get on base since, but he's going to find some space. A hard grounder over to Lesala, but that's going to erase Holloway on the bases and leave Mauler over on first and hand things over to Brandon Mauler.
Designated hitter number 9.
A nice grab from Colin Lesala. A tough ball. Looked like it had the potential to squeeze through that gap, but instead able to be collected and securing an out. So one out on the board, Brandon Mauler here. As this one misses low and away for ball one. Mauler walked in his last at-bat, but before that, he had a solo home run in the bottom of the third. That would be the last time the Cougars have scored. As he connects with this one, sends it high into left field, over the wall for another one! Brandon Mauler, fire me up! His second home run of the day! A 2-run bomb from the senior! And the Cougars have tied this back up! Bingo, bango, bongo, Brandon Mauler! Oh my goodness! Tie ball game, and Connor Jerkaitis at the plate! First pitch to Jerkaitis misses low and away for ball one. A Brandon Mahler home run is exactly what this CUC squad needed to jumpstart their offense, find a little bit of momentum, and Jerkadis is riding that momentum right here with the 3-0 count. As Jerkadis is going to take a 4-pitch walk that hands things over to Richie Sperando. And the Falcon infield's going to come together and have a couple words with Kobylarczyk. A big-time start to the inning here. Brandon Mahler picking up his 6th home run of the season, his 2nd here today. And Richie Sperando now at the plate with the go-ahead run over on first for the Cougars. As this one misses well outside and in the dirt for ball 1. Nice effort from Lash behind the plate to keep it in front of him and hold Jerkadis over at first. The 1-0. Clipping the outside of the zone for strike 1. One and one count here, 1 out, runner on first. Kobylarczyk delivers here, connected on. Chance for a double play ball. They get 1, they get 2. Great effort there from the Falcon infield to get out of the inning, but the Cougars doing what they needing to, tying this ball game up at 5 apiece as we head to the top of the 9th here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, top of the 9th, new arm on the bump for CUC in number 1, Blake Hickey. This is a brand new ball game here as we enter the final regularly scheduled inning after Brandon Mahler's 2-run homer tied this thing up in the bottom half of the 8th. Blake Hickey looking to hold things where they are and let the Cougar bats get to work, but this ball is going to be launched over Holloway's head out in left field. And Lash is going to easily take two. A stand-up double to start things off for the Falcons. Hands things over to Luke Heinkel with the go-ahead runner now on second.
Designated hitter number 5, Luke Heinkel.
A pitch here from Hickey, swung on and fouled off, makes this an 0-1 count. Hickey delivers this one, swung on and missed for strike number 2. Oh, 2 count here. Hickey gets set. He delivers. Connected on, sent into space in left center. That's going to be trouble as it's getting almost to the fence. Rounding and heading home is Lash, and a stand-up RBI double for Luke Heinkel. So the Falcons take the lead once again here in River Forest. And Matt Miller now coming up to the plate for CU Dub. We're going to see a pinch runner coming in for Heinkel over on second. That pinch runner is going to be number 28, Jamison Dick. And that's going to put Matt Miller now at the plate.
What number? 28. Your attention, please. Running at second base for
Miller 2 for 4 on the day. He's got 2 RBIs already. He's got a triple and a home run here. So if you are CUW, this is exactly the guy that you want at the plate right now. Miller's showing bunt, pulling this CUC defense in, but he lets that one go by for ball 1. Taking a look at that final stat line for Michael Southard on the mound for CUC. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs in his 7 batters faced as Miller swings through that one, makes this a 1-1 count. The 1-1 here from Hickey. Sinking in there for strike 2. Hickey making his 8th appearance on the season for the Cougars. He's got a 1.13 ERA, one of the highest of the Cougars. Excuse me, one of the lowest, the best for the Cougars, I should say. As this one is fouled off, keeps this at a 1-2 count. Hickey, 8 total innings pitched on the season. He's only given up 1 run. 7 total strikeouts coming into today, holding his opponents to a 172 batting average against him. As this one's connected on line right over to Becker. Can they turn 2? They don't. Great effort there as Miller lined out and Becker tried to get the flip over to catch Dick lacking on second. But that's going to put 1 out on the board and Valdez at the plate. Hickey delivers this one up and in for ball 1. Valdez 1 for 3 at the plate so far today. He picked up a single up the middle in his last at-bat, as that one misses up and away for ball 2. The 2-0 from Hickey. In the dirt, ball 3, bouncing off of Owens. He keeps it in front of him, just off to the side a little bit. That's going to give Dick time to make his way to third. So Valdez sitting with the 3-0 count here, as Falcons coaching staff having a quick conversation with Valdez as he sits well ahead in this count. So they're going to walk Valdez and put Lesala now at the plate. Runners on the corner bags.
Shortstop number 13, Colin Lesala.
So Lesala at the plate here. Valdez on first and Dick still over at third. Lesala 1 for 3 on the day. He's got 1 strikeout. As Hickey's gonna step off here, reset. Lesala had a solo home run in the top of the 6th for the Falcons. Grounded out to first base in his most recent at-bat. Hickey delivers this one outside, ball 1. The 1-0 turns 2-0, and Valdez is going to take a brisk walk over to second after no coverage allowed for him to get there safely. So Valdez on second and Dick on third. And the 2-0 count here for Lesala. 1 away here in the top of the 9th. Pitch clock winding down. This one in there for strike 1. The 2-1 put into play. Becker makes a diving attempt, can't get a hand on it. That's going to allow Dick to score, but Valdez is going to hold up at third. So runners on the corner bags yet again, and the Falcons lead 7-5. Brandon McCray at the plate for CU Dub. McCray grounded out in his most recent at-bat. Hasn't picked up a hit since his first plate appearance as Hickey checks on Lesala over at first. Hickey checking on Lesala once again. Hickey delivers the first pitch here to McCray outside for ball 1. This one in there for strike number 1. McCray thought about swinging, checked his swing, and then took it for the strike anyway. Hickey checking on Lesala at first yet again. Lesala 1 for 1 on stolen bases coming into today. As this ball is connected on, it's going to get down in shallow center. That's going to allow 1 run to score. Buckley able to scoop it up and hold Lesala at second. But the Falcons getting it done here in the top of the 9th. They now lead 8-5, tacking on 3 runs here in the top half of the inning. And catcher Dom Owens is going to take a second and call his infield together, have a quick discussion, resettle some things in. Hickey, as I was saying earlier, a strong arm for this CUC squad coming into today. A 1.13 ERA. This is his 8th appearance on the season, and he's usually your one-inning kind of guy coming in as your reliever, getting an effective inning out of him anywhere ranging from the 7th to the 9th inning and just locking it down. Like I said, 7 appearances on the season, and in those 7 appearances, he's had 7 strikeouts. So just struggling here in the top of the 9th, but with this strong Cougar defense behind him, just looking to settle in and calm things down a little bit. As that brings the top of the order up for the Falcons. Ames now at the plate.
Center fielder number 1, Alex.
Ames 1 for 5 on the day. He picked up a single in his last at-bat. Runners on first and second, 1 away. Hickey delivers here. Swung on and missed. Owens with the throw down. Not in time. Owens is really pulling to catch those first base runners lacking. I believe that's his 4th attempt now on the day, and there's been some really close attempts. That one included, just not quite there in time. But either way, Ames sits with the 0-1 count, and Hickey gets set. The 0-1 in the dirt. Owens keeps it in front of him. They're going to throw down to second and get Ames. So the ball gets away from Owens a little bit. It's going to allow Lesala to get the third, but Owens sees plenty of time and space to catch McCray. And that's going to put the 1-1 count with 2 outs now. The 1-1 here. In there for strike number 2. Hickey 1 strike away from getting the Cougars out of this inning. The 1-2. In there for strike number 3. Blake Hickey getting it done. The Cougars heading back behind their bats after allowing 3 runs in the top half of this inning, but Zagerman, Owens, and Beckert do up. They need 3 to stay alive, 4 to walk it off when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, bottom of the ninth. It is crunch time for the Cougars. They trail by 3.
Number 16,
Zagerman at the plate here to start things off, but a new arm on the bump for the Falcons. That new arm, number 14, Tyler Bartzak, senior out of Crestwood, Illinois, trying to close this out with this Falcons lead. He delivered strike number 1 and now ball number 1 to Zagerman. Zagerman so far today, he's 1 for 3. He had a 2-run homer in his first at-bat, his first home run of the season earlier today, as that one misses for ball number 2. Two-one count here for Zagerman. In the dirt, gets past Lash for ball 3. Bartzak throwing some heat on the mound. The 3-1. Missing for ball 4. And that's going to hand things over to Dom Owens. No outs, 1 runner on. First pitch to Owens, swung on and fouled off. Owens 1 for 2 on the day. He picked up a single in his last at-bat. As he sends this one over, Lesala able to get it. They look to turn 2, and they do. Another double play for the Falcons. Puts 2 outs onto the board, and Beckert now at the plate and needing to get things done with 2 outs. CUC trailing by 3 and now operating with 2 outs. Not an unfamiliar spot for CUC to be in. 2 for 9 at the plate today with 2 outs, but we've seen them be successful so far this season operating with 2 outs, but Becker is going to swing through that one for strike number 1. The 0-1 connected onset high into left field. Valdez coming up and underneath it to secure the out. And that is going to do it for today's game number 1. CUC falling to CUW after the Falcons were able to put up 3 runs in the top half of the inning and take the 8-5 victory. But the good news is it's still a beautiful day here at the Thunderdome, and we've got game number 2 coming up in just about 30 minutes. Don't go anywhere, Cougar fans. Game 2 coming up right here on the Cougar Sports Network.
So much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.